All right, so we got the Bank of Canada announcement today where they have made a 50 basis point cut. And now, really, this was in line with expectations. Well, some people thought it was going to be another 25 basis point cut, but we did see a 50 basis point cut based off the fact that economic data was weaker than what was expected. And, you know, when I take a look around, I think activity has picked up a little bit in the real estate market. I hosted an open house on the weekend and things were a bit busier, which was good. But again, you can still tell that prices are still too high, and it feels like incomes are just still not high enough, really. Because yes, even though prices have come down a bit in certain markets around Toronto, people still can't qualify, right? Based off income and obviously interest rate. And this will help, right? 50 basis point cut will help. But will it be enough to then get these people to come in and bid for property? That we don't know. And now we have to wait and see. And that'll be the big question mark that we'll be watching over the next few weeks. And, in my opinion, I just think that the real estate market went absolutely crazy over the last 10 years, okay? And what's happening right now is a very normal pullback. It's very healthy. And I keep telling people this, who knows when this period will end of prices going down and all this. And yes, interest rates are starting to come down now. And does this mean prices will roar up? I don't know. It could take another year or 2 years. And we have to just wait and see what happens. But I think what's happening now, in a lot of ways, it's very, very healthy and good. And what would be absolutely a best case scenario would be that if we get interest rates down a lot and we get prices continuing to come down, leading into this great buying opportunity for people who are already in the market, for people who want to get in the market, or first-time home buyers. These kinds of things will really help those people. And one second, move this chair back a little bit. And I think that, based off the announcement today, it seems like real estate agents and mortgage agents are celebrating. And I'm in the business too. I do real estate and mortgaging, and this is good news, right, for the industry. But will it make a dramatic effect? It's hard to say. I don't know yet. I hope it has some good effect, but it's so hard to say. And, the best thing I can say is that, I think agents and realtors and mortgage agents should be advising their clients properly right now. They should be telling them, hey, look, here's the potentials of getting into the market now, or here's what could happen, right? Lay out all the possibilities, not just, okay, rates are coming down, house prices are going to take off, now's the time to buy. I don't think that's great advice. And at the same time, we have a lot of sellers, and I see sellers who won't drop their prices to actually reflect the current market value of their home. They're trying to get prices from 2 years ago. And then the problem with that is, and this is a big thing, let's say you're able to get what you want for your home, but then the appraisal comes in lower. Let's say the appraisal comes in $200,000 or $300,000 lower. The buyer then has to make up the difference for that amount, okay, to close on the home, right? And if they can't, then the deal falls through, right? And obviously they can negotiate with the seller in that scenario, but if appraisal values come in lower, the bank can only lend, up to whatever 80% of appraisal value, not what it sells for, right? So a lot of sellers are stuck in that mindset where they don't want to lower their price. And if they list their house and they list it too high and they're able to get that amount, still it might come to bite them in the ass. And this is stuff that's happening now, right? A bank is not going to, loan more than what something is worth. Think about it. If you had money and you were a lender and you were going to loan money on a house or a mortgage, right, as collateral, would you loan out more money than what the house is currently worth in the market right now? No. Why would you? That's a risk for you. And so that's what's happening right now. And, you know, it's just the mentality I'm seeing in the market right now is interesting because buyers have so much choice still, okay? Even with this 50 basis point drop, we might get more listings now, okay? We might get tons of more listings, and then it's going to be an even bigger buffet for buyers. And then sellers, are going to come on the market more. And then a lot of them are going to be stubborn. Some of them are going to drop their price, right? If they really need to sell, if they really are in a financial dire position where they need to sell their home, they're going to drop, okay? They're going to drop their prices. And if they do that, and then the deal closes, everything goes smoothly, then those market prices will then be reflected in the data that we'll see, meaning the prices could still go down. So it's so hard to tell, right? We could now, with this 50 basis point cut, get this flurry of activity. And that would be great for the real estate market and for mortgages. But it's hard to tell if that's going to happen, right? Because it's all about, over these next few months, what's happened. We got the U.S. election coming up, okay? We got the U.S. election in like less than 2 weeks coming. So that's going to be a huge thing for the markets. What happens in the U.S., what happens, geopolitically, if things escalate in the Middle East, or with the wars going on over there. But again, those things we can't really talk about just yet. We have to just look at what's happening right now. How are people thinking? That's what I really like to focus on, is like, what are the buyers and sellers like thinking right now in the market? Because that can give us a bit of an indication of what can happen in the relative short term over the next few months, right? Like, if we have sellers who want amounts for their home where it's not worth that, right? Like, if you call an appraiser into a lot of the homes that are listed on the market, they will appraise lower right now, okay? Like, for sure lower. And if they do appraise lower and then you get an offer for your house that's what you wanted, you still might not be able to close on it, because again, the lender can only lend so much of the appraised value, right? Where then the buyer has to make up the difference. And if the buyer can't make up the difference, then the deal falls through. And then there goes the deal for you. You can't close, you can't sell. So it's a crazy time right now. And I guess I'm just making this video, and I'm kind of taking a new approach with my videos, where I used to make videos in my office. Now I'm kind of just setting up my camera in literally my phone in my car. And I'm just kind of talking about what I'm seeing in the market. This is more kind of off the cuff. I'm not going to be editing these videos heavily anymore. They're just going to be very much like point and shoot. Let's talk about it. No fancy thumbnails. So you guys let me know if you like this format more. For me, I don't know. I like to just kind of shoot my thoughts off like this more. And I feel like I kind of speak better like this, rather than, let's say, having a script and editing a video like crazy. I like to really just point and shoot and talk, right? And go from the brain, not go from, a bunch of words on a page. And, I think a lot of my old videos were they were very scripted, and I was trying to make them a little bit more human. But I don't know. If you guys like this format more, let me know, because if I get good feedback on this, I'll keep doing this. I'll try to do it more. And to be honest, I kind of got this inspiration to film like this from another YouTuber. Maybe you know him, Uneducated Economist. And what he does is he pretty much just like films in his car, right? And so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so what else am I thinking? Well, I think a lot of mortgage agents, real estate agents, are going to celebrate. And they might celebrate for the right reason. Like, things could pick up and all that, but it's like, can things pick up enough to like get us to all-time new highs in the real estate market in Ontario and Vancouver? No. Like, I think the market's still going to be stale for a while, you know, just because like prices are still so high and people's incomes are not high enough. And if we get more unemployment, that's just going to make the situation worse. So we have to just take a step back and look at it from a broad point of view and look at all the different factors happening, and also get into the heads of the buyers and sellers. What are they thinking right now, right? Buyers are so, like, the buyers right now are so relaxed. They got so much options. Like, if you're buying right now, like, this is such a great market to buy in. It's a buyer's market. And if you don't think it's a buyer's market, I think you're wrong, because it is, because they have so many options right now. They can just go to any town. They can go to the GTA, you know, these nice parts of Toronto, and they got so many options, and they have the ability to negotiate, to put in lower offers, work their way up and negotiate. It's the sellers who are very much like not willing to drop prices, not willing to take a bit of a lower price, especially if they can't. Maybe they put money into their house and all this. And so that's what I'm seeing right now, is that, you know, buyers are in power. They have so many options. Sellers are not willing to, you know, just get market value for their home. And it's like, when I think about it, I'm like, if you're selling your house or buying a house, you should sell or buy a house for around market value. If you're paying more than market value as a buyer, that means you're not being represented properly by your agent. And then if you're selling obviously way below current market value, then obviously that's another mistake, and you shouldn't be represented by that agent, and you're not making a good decision. And so what I would say is, buying and selling for around market value, a little bit more, a little bit less, or right at market value is always okay, especially in this market, right? But again, even if you get what you want and it appraises lower, and I'm telling this to all sellers, like, you still might not be able to close on the deal if the buyer can't make up the amount, if they're doing financing. Now, if these people are doing cash deals or cash offers, that's a different story, because then you don't need the lender. Maybe you won't need an appraiser. You don't want an appraiser. You don't care what the house is worth. If you're coming with a cash offer and the person takes it, great. You know, like, that's a simple transaction. But if you're dealing with the lender, you need financing, and the appraisal comes in lower, okay, this is where you can get screwed. And this is where, like, you know, if you need to sell, what do, right? You got to lower your price, take the lower amount, you know. It's just, right now it's confusing, right? Because it's almost like, if you're a buyer right now, you just got so many more advantages. You know, buying right now would be so incredible. Like, if I had the money to buy more real estate right now, I would do it. You know, and I hope, like, if you're in a position to buy right now, you do it, because we don't know how long this will last. But it's such a good time to buy, because you have so much negotiating power. You have so much capability to buy any home you want for a better price than you did 2-3 years ago, right? And if you can do that, why wouldn't you do that? And so those are my current thoughts on the market, guys. Let me know what you think of this new video format, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.